So typically, I always drive, and I'll show pictures of the trip after. Hotels. I like getting a hotel. Actually, I used to get the hotels the night before, but I'm appreciating the night after a lot now too. So you could do either. But the night after is kind of nice because it's not a rush to go home. If there's a problem with the processing, there's more time you already have built in to deal with it. And if you come back on a Sunday, you can go shopping on Monday when work happens. Always a fun part. Parking is an issue. So, used to be able to stay at a couple of hotels and pay for parking in their lot and just leave your car there. But now if you go to anywhere like the Fisherman's Landing, H&M Landing, Point Loma, all those, they have a small parking lot and you can wait a few hours to get a parking spot. That really frustrates me. So next time I go out of that landing, I'm probably just going to park at the airport and Uber and have a friend watch my stuff if there's stuff that you watch. So I'm not going to be going myself just because I'm impatient and parking raises my stress level. I'd rather pay an Uber. But you know, that's one of the things to consider. So what do you do with the fish when you have all this fish? I have 500 pounds of unprocessed fish, more than I want to put in my car. Well, I take it to a processor, right? Or actually, they come pick up your fish. So as soon as I book my trip, I call the processor, like Fisherman's Processing or 5-Star Processing, hey, and ask them, oh, are you going to be picking up fish for this trip on this date and this time? And they'll usually say yes, and that will book me for that day. Because what happened last year, there was an unexpected Dorado bite, which the limit is 10 per person in California waters, and they were taking all the spots when that Dorado bite got hot and they filled up all the boats and there was no way to get your fish processed. Now imagine if you have 500 pounds of fish and you got to bring it back in your car. Not good. Not good. So I always get it processed. It's just a lot easier because they use a professional vacuum sealer. Much better. You can get it either flash frozen or you can bring it home fresh. I'm kind of I used to bring it home fresh, but I'm leaning toward the flash frozen now just because it seems like it's a better quality. I just buy dry ice like from Safeway, put one block in with my fish and it's a lot hard when I get home. And actually the color of the fish stays nicer when it's flash frozen. So that's what I do. Anyways, we're just gonna go to some pictures of actually going on one of these trips. So this is my Toyota Sequoia. It's a full-size SUV. 4 coolers in there. Rods for 2 people. The back, all the seats are folded down. It's full, right? So expect to bring a lot of stuff and have room to do it. So once you get to the landing, you park. There's a lot of different ways, but a lot of times what you'll do is you'll end up getting a cart. And this cart, you put all your stuff in and essentially you weigh out. Depending on the boat and where you're going, some boats will actually have an order. You signed up at this time, and this is your number, this is your cart number, you go on the boat at this time. Some boats, a lot of boats aren't like that, so whoever's in line first goes in. So think about that. Ask the boat you're going on again, are you guys assigning, when people load on the boat or not?
Would you say the back or like what spot on the boat would be the best? For like what spot on the boat would be the best to fish for when going down for tuna?
What spot of
Yeah, like the back, like where it's more open.
Actually, when you fish tuna, when you're fishing live bait, you want to fish whatever the rotation is. So typically the wind, you want to, okay, let's say the boat's on this side, the back of the boat here, the wind's coming this way. You'll cast like in the back corner, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to walk and keep rotating all the way to the front of the boat while you're letting it line out and watching your line, making sure, you know, it's not tangling any other people. Your bait's swimming in the right direction. You want to make sure your bait is strong. You know, if it doesn't swim away right away, you gotta pull it out and get a new one. Get the fastest bait you can, the hardest one to catch. You know, if you're, and also another good trick is, for me personally, watch people who are catching more fish. You know, it might be a good idea to take 15 minutes out of your fishing time just to see what's going on. You know, observe what they're doing, because that's going to teach you a lot. Deckhands, very valuable information. What year was it? 2021, bluefin fishing. Everyone was on this craze of knife jigs, 500 grams. I talked to a couple deckhands, they're all 300. Well, at the store, you know, we shopped before the trip. Guys were buying 500 gram knife jigs, and I passed. And guess what? They were biting the 300 gram. So listen to the deckhands. They really know what they're doing. They want to help. And listen to people with more experience, because they want to help you, and plus they don't want you to tangle in them too, so yeah, that's always a good thing. So that's us like loading onto the Polaris Supreme. 2 days later, we're at Alios Rocks. It's a pretty famous spot. If you ever read any fishing magazines, it was like one of my dream destinations as like a teenager. You see people with fish at Alios Rocks, all these wahoo and tuna, yellowtail. You know, finally became a reality for me, and it's pretty awesome. So as we go in, our first day of when we wahoo fish, if the bite's good, your deck looks like that. See, no one's wearing any sandals. There's a wahoo. There's a Jeff right there, and 200 buddies of mine from this year. Another pretty good wahoo bite. There's just your run-of-the-mill Dorado. There's Jeff with a yellowtail. When I did this, I realized I don't take enough pictures, but yeah. There's my friend Justin with another yellowtail. Fun fish, delicious too. There's Jeff praying in the corner. Jeff was on a kite fish, a bluefin, and he was praying. He had to take his sweatshirt off too. I think you helped him out, Alan. But yeah, that's the praying test. But he hooked about a 200 pounder. So that's a decent fish. There's my measly 168. And there's a 133 pounder caught on a knife jig down the kite. That was actually a jackpot fish.
Wow.
And this is a typical, like, a good day on an overnight boat. You know, 10 fish, something like that. A mixed bag of fish. And this is after a 10-day trip. So this is 168 pounds. That fish is 60 pounds. It looks small. Pretty crazy. So this is last year's. A bunch of wahoo. Not a lot of big bluefin at the time of year we went. And this is typically after you're done with the processing. You roll out a rack with all your fish all backed up like that. And those are two coolers. So that's a 150 and that's a 120 last year. So yeah, you have a lot of fish and you've got to kind of plan for it. So every time I go, like, I'm expecting to go on a big trip, I call a bunch of people, hey, do you want fish? I'm going on another trip, take it. And that's pretty much it for the slideshow and the pictures. Any questions?
Wow.
Okay, what's a fish you have to really reel fast?
Wahoo.
Who said one?
I did.
All of us.
We did.
Careful, careful. Here, let me hand this to him.
What do you need to do to your rods when you're traveling with them?
Cover them.
Asleep. Oh, it's asleep.
What's a slower falling style of jig that you can use for blue finger? It's not as powerful.
Flat ball.
Good choice.
Look at this.
You know what? I forgot to talk about your rod. I completely forgot. It's because I don't own one yet. This is a surface iron rod, or a jig rod. Long rod's probably why I don't have one yet. It's just, I don't know. It looks really fun. I've seen a lot of people catch fish with it. I also see people get their butts kicked with it because the rod's so long. But it's really hard to travel with. You know, for me, it's just like, wow, I really got to move this thing around. So, but you know, you can use surface irons, poppers, stick baits, this kind of setup. You can also use lighter setup that you can use. Like on a shorter trip, you can use something like this. This is a Phoenix Abyss 809, kelp patty rod.
Was that
Pretty good
20 pounds? 20 pounds?
About 30 pounds.